Are you trying to figure out which shingle you should put on your house? I've been in the roofing industry since 2011, and there's one shingle I absolutely love. It's pretty much the only shingle that I recommend to my clients. And in fact, it's the shingle that I have on my own house. It's my favorite shingle. In this video, I'm going to explain why I think this shingle is so awesome and why I think you should ask your roofer to put it on your house. But before I tell you which shingle it is, I'm going to try to explain why I think this is such an awesome shingle. Now, I'm going to say right up front that this video is not paid for or sponsored or endorsed by any shingle manufacturer. This isn't a brand deal. It's not something that a shingle manufacturer came to me and asked me to make. This is simply my own opinion. So since 2011, I've had the chance to see most of the shingles made by most of the shingle manufacturers perform here in this area where I live. And I've seen how these shingles stand up to wind and hail and our intense Colorado climate of freezing temperatures to blistering sun. And I've seen how they look after several years after they've been installed. So what are the things that I've seen working in the roofing industry that have helped me evaluate which shingle I would want to put on my house and which shingle I definitely would not? Well, I run a roofing business and I live in Colorado's Front Range area, and we get a lot of hail here. And I mean a lot. In the city where I live, we had 5 big hailstorms here last year. These storms did significant damage all over the city, and how a shingle performs in and after a hailstorm is probably the biggest thing that I look at. I just haven't found that brands like Owens Corning or GAF or the other major brands can really stand up to hail the way that my favorite shingle does. In fact, a few days after the first major storm that we had here last year, I did several roof inspections, and I actually did a video about it. You can watch that video right there. And I found damage on almost every roof that I looked at. And I went and did several inspections in one of the worst damaged areas. And there were shingles from all the different major manufacturers on these roofs that I was looking at. But there was only one brand and type of shingle out of all of those that didn't have to be replaced because they just had no damage. There was another big storm that hit our area this year, and it did a lot of damage. It had golf ball size hail, damaged the siding on houses, damaged windows, and of course it beat up a lot of roofs. Once again, the roofs that we inspected had all kinds of different shingles on them from all the different major manufacturers, but there was only one shingle brand and type that made it through that hailstorm with no damage. But Mr. Roofer, I hear you say, we don't have hail here where I live. Fair enough, but pretty much every area has high winds occasionally or even a lot of time. And there's one brand and type of shingle that we've never gotten a call about having shingles blown off of a roof. This is another reason why I like this shingle so much. It seals very fast, it seals very tightly, and it seals in temperatures lower than most of the other shingles will seal and the manufacturer recommends installing their shingles at. And speaking of lower temperatures, this is a rubberized asphalt shingle. It's called an SBS modified asphalt shingle. And so that means that it can be installed in lower temperatures without the problems of cracking or breaking like a standard asphalt shingle. And remember how I said that it seals better in lower temperatures? Well, this is what happened when we installed this shingle on my house in 2016. Because we had been so busy installing roofs throughout 2016 because of a massive hailstorm, we had to wait until December to install the roof on my house. So we planned for December 30th, and it was supposed to be a nice day, like 50, 55 degrees. And we thought, surely we can get this done in a day. But the problem was December 30th is almost the shortest day of the year. So we ran out of daylight. So the guys had to come back and finish the job, finish installing the shingles the next day, December 31st. It was 27 degrees. So the guys finished installing the shingles, and then guess what happened? 10 days later, we had a windstorm with 101-mile-an-hour winds. And you know what happened? I didn't lose one shingle. Another important factor in what makes a great shingle is how it looks years after installation. And here's kind of a funny story about that. So we have a customer whose roof we installed over 8 years ago with this shingle. And the homeowner recently called us about possibly putting in a sun tunnel in a couple different areas of his roof. So as I was driving up the driveway, I had my repair tech in the truck with me. And as we got closer to the house, I looked up and I was thinking, this guy has had his roof replaced since we did it several years ago. This isn't the same roof. It just looks too good. Then we got up on the roof and I was amazed. I was looking around at the roof and I was positive that he had had the roof replaced. In fact, I was a little incensed because I was thinking, well, why didn't he call us to replace the roof if he needed a new roof? So I was literally in the process of looking up the last permit for a re-roof for the house when the homeowner got up on the roof with us and said, doesn't the roof look great? It looks just as good as it did when you installed it several years ago. I was amazed. I was sure, I even told the homeowner that I was sure that he had had somebody else replace the roof because it just looked too good. It still looked brand new. To top it off, the homeowner even told us that he's had 3 major hailstorms run through his area and hit his roof since we had installed it. So if I wasn't passionate enough about this shingle, now I was even more of a fanatic for it. But before I tell you the name of this shingle, let's see if you can guess which one it is. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do you think it's the Owens Corning Duration, the Certainty Northgate, the GAF Timberline, or the Tamco Heritage? Another big advantage to this shingle is that many of the major insurance companies give pretty significant discounts if you've got this shingle on your roof. I know one insurance company gives a 28% discount. That could save you $1,000 or more every single year. My insurance company gave me a 40% discount for having this shingle. Okay, there is one big drawback to this shingle, but I'm going to tell you what that is after I tell you what the shingle is. So the shingle that I absolutely love, that I'm super excited about, that I think is awesome and that you should put on your house is the Certainty Northgate. So we started working with the Certainty Northgate in early 2015, and in that time, I haven't found another shingle that I just feel really good about, feel really comfortable about recommending to my clients. Now, there's a lot of other SBS modified shingles out there, but Certainty is a heavier, thicker shingle than most of them. And the fact that it's a thicker, heavier shingle is what helps it perform so much better than all of its competitors. Now, there is another equivalent SBS shingle, meaning it's as thick and as heavy as the Certainty Northgate, and that's the Malarkey Legacy. But the problem with the Legacy is that it's really hard for us to get here in this market, and it's quite a bit more expensive than the Northgate. All of the other competitor shingles are lighter and they don't hold up as well to hail as does the Certainty Northgate. So what is the one disadvantage to the Certainty Northgate? The fact that it's not available in every area of the country. We've had lots of people contact us through our YouTube channel, people from Texas and Missouri and other states, and tell us that they want the Certainty Northgate on their house, but they can't get the Northgate where they live. So Certainty, you need to get on the ball and make this available in these other markets, especially these other markets where there's a lot of hail. Okay, now that I've gone on and on about how much I love the Certainty Northgate shingle, if you want to know about a roofing material that is even more amazing, watch that video right up there. And if you want to just geek out on a bunch of roofing information, check out that playlist down there.